Hi everyone, this is Crystal and I'm back with another page in my Project Life album for 2019. This is a page in January. So I have only 2 photos for these 2 pages and they're on 2 separate days, but they're kind of similar stories, just about us being at home and enjoying each other's company. So I'm going to do them as one spread. To do that, I have the February Citrus Twist Kits Life Crafted Kit, which is almost untouched. So I'm excited to finally get some of it used up. I also have some stamps to play with. So I guess I'm just going to put you on fast forward and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is just go through the cards and the papers that are in this kit and figure out which ones I want to use. So I know that I need 2 cards for those top 2 pockets, and then I need something to go behind my photo on the bottom, and then I'm going to need a full 6x8 sheet for the other side. So the photo there is 4x6 and the pocket is 6x8, so I'm going to need a whole sheet to go behind it. And I really love this heart print. It's one of my favorites from this kit. You can see I pulled out both the 6x8 paper and the 3x4 card. I'm going to end up using just the 6x8 paper, but I love it. It's gorgeous. So this is basically how it's going to go. I did pull out what I have left of the March kit just to see if there was anything I liked better, but there wasn't, so I'm going to go with these. Next, I'm going to go through the die cuts. So typically what I do is just go through the entire pack and pull out the ones that I think might work for this page. And generally I pull out way more than what I actually end up using, but I like to have options. So I just go through and I'm looking for things that are in the color scheme I've chosen, sentiments that go along with the photos that I have or the stories that I want to tell, and also looking to make sure that I have enough things to put around the spread to make it balanced, and to make sure that all of the colors on the spread are represented in all of the parts of the spread, if that makes sense. So I'm just going through all these little die cuts and choosing which ones I think will work. And then there's another die cut set from this kit. So this is the acetate die cut set. I'm going to do the same thing with it. Just go through each little piece and decide whether I think it'll work on this spread or not, and just kind of plop it down for now, and then I'll go back through and edit all of these and figure out which ones I actually want to add to the spread. So while I'm doing that, I'll tell you a little bit about the photos that are in the spread and the stories that I have to tell for this part of January. January is always very cold here, so we spend a lot of time just hanging out indoors and cuddling on the couch and eating good food that we make here at home. It's kind of boring around here in January, and that's basically what my story is going to be about, just how we just hang out together. And the photo on the right is really hard to see. It's not a great photo, but it's literally all of us, 2 dogs, 2 cats, and 2 humans, all on the couch, all just hanging out, sleeping or reading, or Jesse's actually on his computer, but that's basically a typical scene around here in the winter. So I wanted to be sure to document those stories. Okay, so I finished finally going through all of the ephemera, and I'm just looking for something to back that photo of. It's actually of tacos that's on the left-hand side of the page. I end up just grabbing a plain grid card from my stash, and I just needed something to make it stand out from that background paper a little bit better than it was. It was kind of blending in, and I wanted something to make it just stand out a bit more. So I am just giving it a really, really thin border of this grid paper, and then I will be able to start embellishing. So now that I have all of the little bits and pieces that I think I want to use, I can just kind of go through and see what works where and what I have room for and what I don't, what I like the look of and what I don't. Just kind of going through that editing process and figuring out what the final spread is going to be like. So I start adding tags above this photo, and I really like the way that looks, and I'm going to end up running with that. I try a couple other things, but I end up just really liking the way these tags look. So it does, however, need something else. So I try these little tabs that were in the die cut pack to make it feel a bit more balanced on the right side. The left side feels much heavier, but that didn't really work. So I ended up going back to the 6x8 papers that were in the kit, and I find a floral one that has all the colors that are in this spread. I had passed over it just because it was too springy looking to me, but the colors match everything else here. So I end up using it, and I'm just going to trim it down to go behind the two layers I have here already. So to do that, I'm just kind of holding my photo where I want it, and then I take my scissors and just make a tiny little snip where I want to mark the paper, and then I get out my big trimmer. It's not a very big trimmer, but it's my big trimmer for now, and just trim along where I made those little scissor snip marks. And then I have it to the size that I want it. So I can adhere my photo to that piece of paper, and you can see, you can't even tell that it's a floral. You can just see those colors peeking through around the outside. So that ends up working out really well. And then I can add those tags back to the top. And because they would just be hidden, I end up trimming off the bottom so that I can use them on another layer because I just didn't want to waste them. So now I'm just trying to think of how else I want to embellish this side of the spread. And basically what I'm doing is making a small layout, right? Like it's basically just a 6x8 layout that I'm creating here. So I decided I wanted to add some hidden journaling. So to do that, I'm going to take the bookmark from this kit. This is a 3x8 sheet of paper, kind of like a journal card, but it's 3x8 size instead of 3x4. And I'm going to add one of these tabs to the top of it, and then I'm going to add it behind my photo and create a pocket with those layers so that this will be able to slip in and out. And it's going to actually stick out above the page just a little bit outside of the pocket. So that's kind of your cue to be able to slip it in and out and know that there's something interactive there. So there you can see I have the pocket created, and that card will just kind of sit back behind these tags. So next, I want to start adhering some of the rest of these things down. And because these little embellishments are acetate, I decide to use my Xyron sticker maker. This is the best way I've found to adhere these things to your pages without the adhesive being super visible. So when you use the Xyron, you can't really see the adhesive behind it. If I were to use a tape runner or something similar, you would definitely be able to see that. So I actually have a big one somewhere in my craft mess. I don't even know where it is, but I picked up this small one not too long ago, and it works really well for just these small embellishments. So now I'm just adhering everything else down. I like the way that the page is looking so far, so I'm just going ahead and I'm gluing everything down. I added that really adorable scallop with the little red hearts in it to the top of my photo, and then I added that label to do some stamping here in a minute. And then that little die cut that says happy as well, because it's a photo of tacos and that just makes me happy. I thought about using this tiny little yellow heart. It actually came out of another die cut. It was what was left behind. I thought about using it on that bottom card, but I ended up adding it to this top one, and then that brings a little bit of the yellow color up to the top part of this side of the spread. But right now I am looking at the stamps that came with this kit. One is the stamp from the kit, and the other is the Traveler's Notebook stamp from February. And I find a couple phrases. This one says, let me get some of that, which is perfect for a taco photo. So I added that next to the photo. And then I'm just going to look and find a couple more that will work for the spread. But first I had to get a little sip of wine. I am recording this during the evening, so not day drinking. But yeah, had a glass of wine with me. And then I'm going to add a stamp that says, this is my kind of day, because any day when there's tacos is my kind of day. And then I'm also going to grab this other stamp. This is one from my stash. It's from Chic Tags, their Etsy store, and it's all about tacos. So I just grabbed one little stamp from that that says tacos equal life. It's one of my favorite stamps to use on taco photos, so I go ahead and add that, and then I'm just going to add a few more hearts with that stamp set from the kit. They're just like a little heart outline, and that just adds to those 2 acetate hearts that are on that card. I'm also going to add some stamping to the other side. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to use. I end up going with one that says, "This is the best part," which is true. This really is the best part of winter. It's us all hanging out, snuggling on the couch, because it's not too warm. When it's warm outside, the dogs don't want to be close. They get too hot. So this really is the best part of winter for me. And that's going to be it for this video. I end up adding my journaling off camera, so you can see it here in the close-up photos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I do appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and I will see you all back here soon.